Hi guys, welcome back. I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I am a giant book nerd, and so I was told that it would be a good idea to talk about my obsession with books, which I so clearly have. Because I am really obsessed with books, and I figured I'd talk about one of my favorite authors today, since I just found out that she has new books. I actually have one of the new books, I just haven't had time to read it yet. I should really get on that. But she's got another one coming out in April, so I'm super happy and I cannot wait for that. Because April can't come soon enough. That's 2 months away, and that's not soon enough. Okay, I'm going to try and calm myself down so that I can actually talk about these books, because these are really amazing books. So City of the Lost is her new book. It's from her new series that she's going to start. Deceptions just came out, like, really recently. Forest of Ruin isn't out yet. That's one that's out in April. And I'm fangirling, and it's okay. I haven't read her 2 standalone novels, nor have I read the Blackwell Pages. Maybe it's just me, but I get weird about books that are written by 2 different authors, because one author's style might conflict and hinder was the word I was looking for, hinder the other author's style. So I haven't read those. I'm hoping to get to it, but I have so many books right now that I haven't read, and the list is just growing and growing and growing, because every time I go to the bookstore, don't take me to a bookstore. Eric has learned the hard way. Don't ever take me to a bookstore if I have money to spend. And even if I don't have money to spend, I will find money to spend in the bookstore. Darkest Powers trilogy is about necromancy, and it's really good. And you wouldn't think it's good, but it's set from like a teen's perspective kind of thing. So, another video for those. Darkness Rising is werewolves, believe it or not. I haven't read the Nadia Stafford trilogy. It's a mystery, I believe. All her other novels are pretty much more supernatural in origins, werewolves, vampires kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm into. I do read the occasional odd novel, but that's pretty much it. Her anthologies are really good. Werewolves and Spellcasters are Bitten and Stolen, plus, oh, I don't even remember. I have them as ebooks, because if you are going to download these, I highly recommend getting Werewolves and Spellcasters, because they're both not only the first few books in the 13 in the Otherworld series, but they also have little, like, short stories at the end of them that she's actually written over the years, a list of which is at the bottom of this page. But she does have a lot of them written. Men of the Otherworld, Tales of the Otherworld, Otherworld Nights, and Otherworld Secrets are all little anthologies, so more short stories of different characters that appear throughout the series, but are not necessarily main characters. They are also really good reads. Her stories, more often than not, are always incorporated into the anthologies. Not always. So it gets a little strange. They're really cheap as an ebook. That sounds terrible, but they are good reads. She also has Darkest Powers stories that apply to the Darkest Powers trilogy. It does look a little strange because there's wolves in it, and Darkest Powers isn't really about wolves. It focuses on necromancy, which has nothing to do with necrophilia. I just want to point that out. Necromancy is raising the dead and being able to talk to the dead. Necrophilia is a totally different thing that is absolutely weird, and I don't want to get into. These are her other stories. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to read these yet. And then here's all her short fiction, which happens to be like other random little short stories that fit into the timeline. They're really not part of the main series, I guess, but they still are a good read, and it kind of gives you insight into more background characters. So as you can see, there is a crap ton of them. So anyways, I'm going to start with Bitten, because I was fangirling over Bitten. So this is the book cover that I have. I'm trying not to get a glare from the screen. There we go. No. I'm going to get a glare from the screen anyways. Let's do this. Let's do that. There's less of a glare that way. Maybe. So this is the cover art that I have for Bitten. I didn't buy the original release copy, so this is not the original cover. I could probably find you it online, but all the other covers are pretty cool looking anyways. So what's shown on the screen here is the most recent cover, and it has the synopsis that is on the back of the book. I could read it. I will probably go all fangirl. You might not want that, because I will squeal, most likely. Anyways, Bitten is about Elena Michaels. She's the world's only female werewolf, as it says in the first sentence, and whatnot. She is a part of the pack. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys if you decide to read this. Oh my goodness. She's a part of the pack of werewolves that is in North America. There's a different pack on different continents. It gets into it in an anthology story. But so she's in the pack, and as it says on the back of the cover, she's living in Toronto, trying to live like a normal human being would, which is difficult in a giant city. Could you imagine changing into a wolf and having to like run around in a giant city? Could you imagine trying to hide that from everybody that you live with? That would be terrible. But so shit goes down back home where her pack is, and she has to go back and help clear the giant mess up. And it is really good. The TV show, I don't want to say bad things about the TV show because the TV show is good. I found the first season to be really good. It really matches the book. It really matches Bitten quite well. It kind of deviates in the second and third season. So it's still a good show, but it deviates. It's more of an adaptation of the books than it is really a replication. Even the first season is an adaptation of the books because, as you know, putting everything that happens into a book into a movie or a TV show or any kind of adaptation like that is extremely hard, and it is going to be extremely long. Like, you wouldn't... I need to calm down because I'm getting too excited. This is what's happening. I'm forgetting words. But okay, cats are fighting in the background. I just need to breathe. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay. I was hoping to get to more books in this video, and I might not because I'm really talking a lot about Bitten. Holy crap. Okay, so as I was saying, the TV series is good. It's more of an adaptation of the novel than it is replication. The first season is awesome. It follows the books quite well. It follows the book quite well. I highly recommend reading it if you're into like werewolves and things like that, because I'm a loser. I'm a complete book nerd. I think at last count I had 300 some novels. Is that right?
Yeah, well, that.
Okay. Yeah, 300 some novels. I have gotten more novels since then. So next video I do of book awesome nerdiness is I'm actually going to have a count of how many novels I have. And you guys can make fun of me and compare how many novels you have compared to me, I guess, because I have about 300, and I don't even think that's enough. Eric thinks that's way too many, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's nearly enough. I won't be happy until I own a complete library, I think. Yeah. I'm going to be that nerd that has her entire home library of books. Okay, so the next book that I want to talk about. Okay, the next book that I want to talk about, I actually, for some reason, I swear that I had a actual physical copy of this book, but I don't, or I can't find it, or I left it back home. This is home to me right now while I go to university and everything. I live with Eric. I'll just quickly explain that. I'm not from here. I actually live in Manitoba. I'm currently living in Saskatchewan. Home is in northern Manitoba for me. So, yeah, between here and there, I have books that I've left at home because I couldn't find their adorable dust cover or things like that. And having just a plain black hardcover book is kind of boring without the dust jacket, right? Okay, next book that I want to talk about, like I said, I don't have the physical copy, which is really disappointing because I love the book, but I do have ebooks of all of these books. So most of them I have a physical copy, and most of them I have an ebook copy because I am that nerdy and in love with Kelley Armstrong, who is also a Canadian author. Just want to throw that out there. But so this is Empire of Night. It's the second book to Sea of Shadows. It's the sequel to Sea of Shadows, which is on screen. Put those down there. So Sea of Shadows kind of completely different than what she's ever written, pretty much. So before she's written vampires, werewolves, things like that. This is completely different. So basically, in Sea of Shadows, without giving anything away, reading just off the synopsis, there's two twin sisters. Of course, there's two. They're twins. Oh my goodness. There's twin sisters. And they're charged with a dangerous task, which is essentially they have to go into a giant, creepy-ass forest and quiet the enraged souls of the damned. Which it says. But the year that they actually come of age and are able to do it, shit goes down, and they get separated, and it's a really good read, but it's like terrifying. I don't know if I'm sure some of you have siblings, and I'm sure some of you are very close with your siblings. Others, like me, sometimes want their sibling far away because they're super annoying, but I still love my little brother. So, as annoying as he is. But, so, they're really close. They grew up together, like, all that stuff. Their mom isn't in the picture kind of thing. So, really bad stuff goes down. And I don't want to spoil it by saying anything. But, oh man, it's hard not to spoil anything. But I don't want to spoil the fun for you guys, and I don't want to. And if you guys want more information, I don't want to give more information and then have it spoil it for those that didn't want more information. Oh, I'm in a terrible conflict right now. Oh my goodness. As you can see, I'm obsessed with books, specifically Kelley Armstrong. I don't have time to talk about all the books that I wanted to. But yeah, so Sea of Shadows is the first book in the trilogy. So far, it's a trilogy. I'm not sure if she's planning on making a fourth book or possibly more. And I don't know, since the third book isn't technically out until April. But so this is the first book. It is really good. It is really awesome. I'm kind of anxious to actually flip to the second book tab because I don't know if there's going to be spoilers or not. But I shouldn't because there's going to be spoilers. Oh, anyways, I can show you the cover art for the second book because I've done that already. But look at how pretty it is. Look at this. It's so pretty. Oh, yeah, it's so pretty. I'm a complete book nerd. It's wonderful. This is why I'm an English major, guys, because I'm a book nerd. But I can't go into the next tab because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. And I don't want to go into the third tab because that book hasn't been released yet, and I don't want to spoil it for myself by reading the synopsis. So I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm just gonna have to sign off before I completely fangirl out, and I'm gonna have to close these tabs myself, otherwise I will spoil it, and I'll spoil it for myself. I don't want to do that. So this is the author page. It doesn't have much on here. You can actually go on the website and click to contact her, She also has a press kit, which is neat. I don't know any authors that actually do that, so maybe she's one of those few authors that are keeping up with the times. Yay! Because we all have that one favorite author that's old and probably doesn't know how to work a web browser or the internet. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna end this here. Hopefully, you enjoyed me going crazy over books and things like that. Feel free to leave a comment and make fun of me going completely crazy or whatever. Also feel free to recommend me books. I will try and get to the books you guys recommend after I've read all these, and chances are I probably have them or I've probably already read them. If you're going into like authors similar to Kelley Armstrong. But feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely let me know if you want to see me go crazy over more books. All right, guys. Bye. Ow, I smacked my finger.